Hi from Pax Europiana, this is Günther speaking from Tbilisi, and this is a wonderful European capital, and it has just a very bad neighborhood, and it's a real crisis here in history. The Georgians were always Europeans, they were part of the Roman, Byzantine, Eastern Roman Empire, and they are now back on the way to Europe, and that's logically, that's good, and that's what I really would like everybody to support. Together with Ukraine, Moldova, to have the EU candidate status. And I will go for a small solidarity event with Ukraine. Me, myself and I, of course, maybe some friends will join and I will hopefully make that. But, it's most important is that Georgia, Ukraine get the EU candidate status. And I managed to find some friends who will support this campaign here in the 23rd to have a positive decision, because Macron and his appeasers may not win. Of course, a lot of people in the European Union leaders, they want to continue the appeasement policy of the last 15 years, which has led to this war. 15 years of appeasement, and we are at war with Russia. This must be now the confrontation and convergence policy. That means unity is the answer to the Russian war. What we need is to integrate these beautiful countries fully into the European peace project with American leadership. That's very clear, like it was always, and successfully so. America must protect us from the Russian and in the past the Soviet threat, but now it's also important that all these countries are successfully integrated in the European project. That's the idea, and that's why we have built Europe as a fair and transparent place for all nations of Europe who are peace-loving, who are ready for the often quite complicated regulations. Yeah, that's also the price of prosperity and freedom, that it is regulated, and that must also be the place, and it also makes a lot of sense. And then, of course, to be secure in NATO and prosperous in the Euro. I'm only proposing a little bit, to do everything at the same time. I know the conventional way is you wait 50 years or even longer, and then you wait another 50 years, and then we are all dead. And I always make the adoption of the Keynesian joke. We can always wait for 2000 for another 100 years, and that is of course what we shall not do. Here I see already a very good, important first statement, because I couldn't agree more. Here, glory to Ukraine and fuck the war. This I agree. I would add it, Pashol na chuj to Putin. Yes, no swear words at my podcast. And that's now my way into the city, back again from my old communist hotel. It reminds me very much to the way I was the first time in Russia. When in my youth I was full of optimism for democracy in Russia. I went there seven times, full of hope that Russia will be a civilized democracy, part of the free world. It was not to be, and I wasted my time. I should have supported Ukraine and Georgia instead. The Americans were right again, the Europeans were wrong. I think there's a pattern in that one, and we have now to support Ukraine's EU and NATO integration against Russian aggression. And to make that very sure, I came here to Tbilisi, and I was before in Moldova, some of you might have seen it, and I was in February before the war still in Ukraine. That was my last time. I'm not the fighting material. I'm better in podcasting, and even that I'm not sure, but I am in that way. I do what I can to support my friends in Ukraine. I feel with them under the hammer blows of the Russian brutal aggression. So many have died already. It's the same like happened under Milosevic aggression in 99 and in 95. At that time we were still stronger. We were ready to intervene militarily, and we are no longer today. That's our own strategy, but at least under American leadership the West is united to provide the necessary military help. At least not enough, but at least something. By the way, we should thank all the ships of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. I will go to call for that as well to Batumi, as I have done it in Mariupol. The Black Sea will be our sea and not the Russian Sea. And it will be open. There can be some Russian commercial ships, but there will be no Russian naval asset left in the Black Sea at the end of this war. And that's for sure. Every single ship will be sunk if it moves out of Sevastopol, because there is no other way to win this war. But by NATO intervention, it will ultimately come. We will win that war, that is for sure. And Georgia and Ukraine and Moldova will be in the European Union. And not to be misunderstood here, also in NATO, also in the Euro. Just, we start with the Euro, because that's the most important priority, is the fiscal stabilization of the countries, the economic stabilization of the country, and to make sure that there is an irreversible bond via the currency between these countries. And it is one way to institutionally win this war, by making it very, very clear by Euroization that Russia has lost this war forever. That is the message I will now make here in the coming days, and I have made already in the beautiful podcast during this day. I think I was at my maximum productivity. I did what I could. In just one day I made a lot of statements. I managed actually to lose my European flag. That's very shameful. I have to replace that. That was a negative highlight. But I still have to bind my shoes. That's another technical problem. But that's all not irreplaceable. I'm here now again at this beautiful street, where I will gradually move into the center, and I will now change some money. That's also important. And I will go to drink some beers with some friends and make some European action still for European Ukraine. And then I will celebrate the first day in Tbilisi. And please, wherever you are, support the European Georgia, European Ukraine. And I don't mean that party politically, but who is with Russia, I cannot support. Let's be sure about that one. For Georgia in the EU, that's most important. Thanks a lot, all the best, and bye from Pax Europiana.